Another finished game with Justin and his dog. We're gonna show a timeline tonight. And I started as Venice, and Justin started as Bohemia. So, the idea for Justin here was Puppet Master, as I so very like. Oh, he's went and disconnected. And my idea was just to try to make as much money as possible. Now you notice that I never lost, or at least Moria was never given to the Greeks. That's because I'm a champion. However, I only won one war against the Ottomans initially, and then lost the next. So you'll see Naxos is a little smaller now. But began snowballing around this time, got a little more Italian land, a little more land in Egypt. That made me a lot of money. Justin, meanwhile, is continuing expansion into Eastern Europe. And he was the Holy Roman Emperor for much of this game, so he was Catholic most of the time. Now, as I recall, this was about the time where we dismantled the empire and both went reformed, because that was just happened to be the dominant religion. A lot of what you're seeing right now, like Bosnia and Serbia, those are my marches right now. Riga is Justin's. And now here's Italy. Now this is where things really heat up. You see I start to annex some of the marches. They kind of wore out their wear. Gave the knights the land around Jerusalem there just to dab on them. They later actually converted the province and moved their capital there. And here, of course, are client states, province of Hispania and Asia. Consolidated the Mediterranean, and Justin's working on Eastern Europe even more. This is about the time I made the Suez Canal, Mauritania, and got a few more client states for Justin. He ended up getting very large. And yeah, these are pretty much getting near the end borders. I never did annex Armenia. I just didn't happen to have the time. Same with Semien and Ethiopia there, so we'll just pretend that they're gone. And here are the final borders. So we'll focus on me first. I'm pretty satisfied with southern France. I would have preferred the whole thing, but c'est la vie. Switzerland too, I think that would have looked nicer with me. But whatever.
No.
I guess Justin agrees with me there. I think the Black Sea border looked really nice. Armenia, you know what? The color looks really great. It's the little Coptic reserve, so I'm fine with that. Persian border, it's good enough. It shows that they're very weak. I like the little Mare Nostrum type things I have going on in the Indian Ocean. I go quite far down Africa, just kind of happened that way. In the west, not so much, just a couple of trading posts. New World, that's what it's looking like. Neither of us have any land here, so it's mostly just these defunct empires. Speaking of defunct, of course, Bohemian England is a natural progression, and then just British Scotland. Looking at Justin's eastern possessions, we see Central Asia, which the southern border could have used a little work, but it was kind of run low on time, which is fine. And Siberian Mandate, which Ming decided to ruin with Russia there, so. Otherwise, pretty standard game.
Special mention to the Iroquois Empire.
Oh yes, of course. I should bring focus to that. Very good job, Iroquois. Never did finish colonizing that last province there. Don't know if they ever had a colonist, but yes.
Oh, are the Dutch still in the middle there? Who is that orange guy?
That's Fox. Yes, the Dutch, their final resting place was right here, which my American geography is lacking, but I think that's Idaho. But I don't know. And
I think that's I think that's.
Well, I know that's Michigan there, but
Chicago.
Chicago's in Illinois.
Yeah, I think that's Illinois where they were.
That could be. I don't know. But Yeah, not much else to say so much. Good job, Portugal and Britain, on the colonization of Africa. Except for Britain, they kind of lost their coastline in multiple places, in fact. Nice little Indian colony, too. I didn't care about India. I had plenty of money by this point. Speaking of which, I don't know if I can actually get into that. Continue, I guess. Yeah, okay. So as you can see, 95,000 ducats. I was really strapped for cash near the end, almost making 1,000 per month. I was a republic the entire time, a noble republic right now, as you can see, because it gives a lot more absolutism, which I'm at 95. I guess I could accept more cultures too. And speaking of cultures, we'll look at the culture map mode. England really decided they didn't like the French, I guess, but that's basically it for that type of thing.
And the Scots and the Welsh.
Oh, well, yes, English was not too picky with who they hated. Um, Constantinople actually flipped reformed by an event, so I decided, hey, may as well just make that great again. Nothing else special for that. Religion map mode. Most of Europe is reformed because Justin's not a very humanist, but I am, so you can see most of the area retained its original religion. Macedonia, that was Naxos converted that. There's Jerusalem, I was talking about that earlier. I've been helping Armenia restore the Coptics. They had a lot more Shiite, but that's one area where I think Coptic should exist. Jeddah, another area which flipped by event. And actually, Jewish. Made it all the way to the end of the game, so good job, Beta Israel. Just take a brief look at trade. As can be expected, I got quite the monopoly near the end. Didn't put some merchants in certain places just because I didn't need to. And English Channel's at 186. Genoa's at 346, so I guess that can tell you a lot about that. And we'll look at development too, because why not? Rome is at 50 exactly. Prague is at 50 as well. So nobody's in any competition, I guess. And yeah, I think that's about it. You got anything to say, Justin?
No.
Okay. Oh yeah, before I go, I should mention new Naxos. Thank you very much to that one guy who joined to play as Naxos and then took Exploration. So I guess I just have Australia now and New Zealand. Very good. They're Catholic because I happen to be Catholic at the time. Nothing wrong with that. They're pretty tolerant except for the religious problems they have. So yeah, I guess I'll hit F10.